Alright guys, this is your lucky day. Here we have the back plate F-5 and F-6. I'm looking at F-6. I put a center line on F-5. I just went across the bottom of the F-5 from the fuselage that it's going to fit in. I cut the sides down and then just took my square and just ran a straight line straight up because it's a curve. It's tough to get a straight line on, to go across up there. And then I went and put in my 1/4 by 8. I'm using 1/4 by 8 stringers instead of 1/8 by 8 square, and you're going to use a 1/4 by 8 for the top one anyway. But just to make life easier for you, I thought I'd give you this little information here. So what I'm going to do is just measure out each one because there are no points of reference to actually take one from. So I just went ahead and took the bottom measurement off the plan sheet up to the first stringer, and then from there I went on. So I'm just going to read it from the top down. So once you get your center line, put your center line on your F6, and then you're going to draw an 1/8 over, or put your 1/4 inch by 8 right on there and draw right around it and cut out so it fits in nice. And then from the edge of that, I'm just going to walk around. So from this measurement here, I have from the very outside edge to the very outside edge, I have 7/8, then 1/8, and then from that outside edge, I have 9/16, then 1/8, and that should be all you need. And then just copy the same thing to the other side. So 7/8 and then 9/16. That's the two measurements that I use, and just transferred them around the dome, and that's where I'm going to put my stringers on the back of the fuselage. Alright, so I have a few things at the ready here. Here I got my F6 with my marks cut out. I cut the little notches out just to help the 1/4 piece go in and have a nice guide to go. It'll be real easy to slap this together now. And my F5 will be facing in, so just make sure that your F6 at the back side. I got my marks on the side of my fuselage. I'm going to go by here for the angle. And I'm basically just going to take a clamp and clamp that right up just lightly enough so it doesn't move. And take a straight edge to go by my F4 just to make sure that I look straight here. And then I'm just going to take a piece of 1/4 by 8 and set it in just to make sure everything looks centered. That looks good there, plus it'll give it a little support. Take your eyeball and look straight down the plane and back up the plane. When it all looks good, take a little dab at those side corners with it and leave it alone. Let it dry. And then we'll go in and we'll put all the stringers right in. Alright, now that my formers F5 and F6 are dry, I'm going to take a stringer and I'm going to run it from the top of the inside of that piece that I showed you that I made. Just run the stringer to the back, and then at the very back of F7, make a quick mark, cut it in place. You can just glue them all in and then cut them with a saw type thing if you want to, but it's a little fragile for that, so I'm just going to go ahead and snip them off right where I need to. And put one in. Just hold my back finger on it a little bit, and hit it with some zap. I'm going to run right down and in. I'm going to do the same to the back. You should self-flatten itself out. If you want to use just a little piece of scrap or something, just to push it up and make sure it's flush. Everything locks in. Looks good to me. And then I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing to the rest of them. Alright, as you can see, I got the 3 stringers in. Just doing the same thing, putting the stringer up, getting an angle for it there, come back to here, get to F7, mark it at the back of F7 and give it a cut. I'm going to go through the other side, because the other side is bare. Alright, there it is. It's coming along. We've got our back part stringer done. Just got that stuff placed in there. She's looking like an airplane. And believe it or not, you guys just did the hardest part of this plane. So it's just the wing, really. I just got to